I'm Matt,
And I'm Justin.
and this is Space Logic. Today, we're going to watch creationists talking about creationism.
The title really does have the word watch in it.
Yeah. By our good friend and personal mentor, Mavadat Havid.
I bet you're expecting us to say Michael Jordan. We didn't.
I mean, both statements are equally accurate and true.
I based my entire life. He's my god.
I mean,
If I wasn't an atheist.
he's still my god.
If somewhere within the Bible I were to find a passage that said 2 plus 2 equals 5, I wouldn't question what I'm reading in the Bible. I would believe it, accept it as true, and then do my best to work it out and to understand it.
Okay,
This is beautiful.
this is marvelous. Because what he's just said is there's no amount of evidence that could possibly change my mind. Because even if the Bible told me something that by definition could not possibly be true, I would still accept it as true.
Yep. If reality conflicts with the Bible, reality is the problem here. Come on, that's just. Have you seen the Bible? That's a dang good book. That's like a New York Times bestseller.
Yeah.
Of course I would trust it more.
You gotta take it.
I win.
Coming from this little thing that crawled on the ground to apes to being human. It just doesn't, it sounds crazy to me.
Incredulity, the greatest argument for creationism. I do not understand the universe in which we live. Therefore, God.
You heard it here first, folks. Things that are crawling on the ground to apes. If you check the evolution of the entire history of the planet Earth, you'll see there is nothing but things that crawl on the ground and apes themselves. Those intermediates, those are lied by those damn evolutionists.
Buried in the ground by Satan himself to trip the good, clean, God-fearing white folk.
It's true. I read it in the Bible.
Our good friend,
Our buddy,
Ken Ham.
Ken Ham.
How you doing, Ken?
Oh boy, we're in for a fun time, Matt.
Oh, this is gonna be candy.
When you have generations of people being taught that evolution's fact and therefore Genesis is not true and you have to reinterpret the Bible, why shouldn't we do what we want to do? There's no absolutes, therefore we determine what is right and what is wrong.
Unfortunately, morality is not easy.
Yeah, it's very true. However, when it comes to things being true or false,
Dude, no, we've gotten every fallacy. We've got an appeal to authority from the Bible. We got the appeal to incredulity. And now we have an appeal to consequence.
we got the whole lot.
Dude,
This is like Chuck E. Cheese for us.
I hope he is going for some slippery slope bullshit. I really hope he is. Oh, that would be so great.
One can only dream.
To put man down as just an animal, that we're no different than a dog, a horse, an elephant, or a cat, or anything else, is totally preposterous. God made us in his image. And so to say that man is an animal and God created man in his own image, so does one come back and say, are you saying God is nothing more than an animal?
That's an excellent question. It's funny. Is God nothing but an ape? A very advanced great ape?
You know, earlier I read an article about how scientists have discovered that our God has evolved from a chimp deity.
You know, that chimp deity and God share a 96.99%
Of their celestial DNA. Look at fucking the shit-eating grin on his face like, I'm so proud of myself, what I just said was incredibly profound.
The grin you noticed? I was noticing that bulbous chin under the real chin.
It doesn't take away from his argument. I mean, his argument is garbage and has nothing to take away from it to begin with, but...
This first half of this part is actual facts. Second half is ad hominem.
Okay, I think that's a good way to go.
I think so too. That's the way God intended. He sounds like he thinks he has a perfect point, when actually he's making a great point against himself.
It's just like, wow, look at this completely unrelated thing. If Genesis is meant to be a metaphor anyway, God creating us in his image is a metaphor anyway. You stupid shit. Also, there's so many easy ways out for that, because you could just be like, yes, our character is like that of God, or, something
yeah, you could,
stupid like that.
Yeah, you'd say a bunch of stuff just to get yourself out of that.
What that does, it puts God so remote that we can safely ignore him. He's way back at the Big Bang, and he really hasn't done much since. And here's another issue we need to think about. What's more basic to Christianity than prayer? Prayer is a case where we actually have an opportunity and are invited to do so by our Father to speak to God.
Why bother pursuing a relationship with God if he's closed the door on us and doesn't care about us anymore?
To think that I had no communication with God would be so devastating. I can't even imagine adopting such a view just to make peace with Darwin.
Make peace with Darwin, the atheist god.
The idea that I've been just speaking to myself in the bathroom stall all these years is just so emotionally destructive that I could not possibly adopt the worldview that correctly describes reality. I don't even blame him for that. That's just sad and depressing.
Oh yeah, no, I completely understand that part. The problem I have is that he's lowering the information on the other side so that they're on equal footing. So it's like, if I don't believe in God, then I have to believe in God formerly known as Darwin. And
it's an airplane symbol.
Yeah, so, and that's the problem I have with it, is that he's taking all the information, fucking it off, and then saying, we're on equal footing, and if I don't believe in this, then I have to believe in that.
If that's the way the world works, if it is just this mechanical thing that God set spinning in place, then you believe in a God that doesn't intervene in nature, that takes away any possibility of miracles, any possibility of answered prayer, any possibility of the resurrection.
It does none of those things.
Okay, so this video is actually not only against, evolution and people that not only do not believe in a God, but also believe in evolution, but it's also against theistic evolutionists.
Oh, yeah, it's completely against...
And I suppose deists?
Yeah, it's against deism, all that. But the thing is, so if God just made this evolution thing and just set it in motion, obviously he can't grant prayer.
Right?
Why?
I love how they set weaknesses for their God to have.
Yeah, and it's just no. I mean, if you believe in this all-powerful God anyway...
Can't he do whatever he wants?
Can't he still do all of those things, even though he sat back and just let it all spin out?
I mean...
I know we're sounding kind of like apologists here, but...
No, it's true. I mean, honestly, if I had an ant farm, I would love to see those ants colonate it and just do amazing things by themselves without any help from me. Watch them build a colony and watch them carry food into the colony for a queen and everything like that. It would be beautiful to watch that. Now make that a planet and make that not just ants, but everything.
Yeah.
That's beautiful, and it would be amazing to watch this happen. But of course, no. Got to snap my fingers, have everything already placed down, and make them pray to me.
I like to imagine that in the creationist worldview, when God created the world, there was already a lion tooth deep in a gazelle. I like to imagine that. But it just strikes me as a poignant metaphor for the horror of the world.
Right?
And in reality, you take away the possibility of Christianity to be true at all.
No.
No?
I mean, it doesn't.
Yeah.
You can still be no, it's Genesis was a metaphor. Tons of people do that. Millions of people just, oh no, that was a metaphor.
Yeah, all he's saying is that if the exact way I believe isn't true, none of it is.
None of Christianity is right if it's not exactly my brand of Christianity.
Exactly, to a T.
Yeah. A lowercase t.
Yeah, lowercase.
That's the cross.
Undercase T. I don't know what that looks like, but put it in the comments what an undercase T looks like.
I would love to encourage Mr. Darwin and others that feel just like him to try God and see the transformation for themselves.
Who has been dead for hundreds of years.
Mr. Darwin.
Mr. Darwin, tear down this wall.
Old rickety man Darwin across the street. You lose his ball in his yard, and you try to get it, he'll turn you into soup.
Primordial soup. Feeds it to his chimp cousin.
Grandpa. Come on. Let's get this story straight.
Try God for 30 days, risk-free.
Oh, you
Ask
would?
your doctor. Check for side effects. If your heart rate becomes too high, if you experience high mortgage rate, low gas mileage, improved cholesterol, decreased cholesterol, an erection lasting more than 4 hours, please go to your nearest priest.
Or thoughts of suicide.
The last one's less important.
Well, I mean, they're going to hell anyway. Fuck them.
No, they're on the 30-day risk-free trial for God.
Shit. It's like Diet Coke or something. Like, try God.
Just try it.
God Classic.
God Crystal. Oh God, Pepsi Crystal was terrible.
I haven't even ever tasted
Don't.
it ever.
Don't.
But
You-
it's
you
clear.
can't-
It's like Sprite, but Pepsi
You
form.
can't even find it anymore.
Yeah, I know. Is that because it's all dumped in like a
It's-
radioactive
They
waste?
they did to Pepsi Crystal what Atari did to E.T. It is buried in Arizona somewhere.
If I were asked what is the primary reason I believe evolution is incompatible with biblical Christianity, I could sum it up in one word for you: death. If you want, add pain, suffering, and death.
That's the question he's answering. Not whether or not it's true.
Whether or not it's incompatible.
Whether or not it's compatible with his worldview. And I think that is the fundamental problem with all of this, is they're not interested in whether or not something is true. They're interested in whether or not it conflicts with their current worldview.
And that's not good when you want to actually look for the truth.
Yeah, if you want to find out what's actually true, then you look for facts, and the question is not, is it compatible with my worldview? The question should be, is it true?
Or is my worldview compatible with it?
That was the first half of Watch Creationists Talking About Creationism. Join us again next week and we'll finish this one up. Sorry we couldn't get to all of it, but there was just so much stupid.
I mean, there's a lot.
But we hope you'll stay with us anyway, because we love you.
I might.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and as always, thank you for watching.